Peace, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited today. I have a special guest on my show, Mrs. Portia Bright Pittman. She's doing amazing things out here in North Carolina, and she has a line of children books. How you doing today, Queen?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me, Javon, on Hill TV. I love it.
Yes, you've been following Hill TV. We had
Yes.
previous conversations, and I love what you're doing, and it is an honor to have you on my show today. Let's get right into it. What inspired you to drop these line of children books?
Well, actually, for those who don't know me, I actually work in state government. I'm also, radio talk show host,
Nice.
a host of other things. However, during the day, I do work for state government, particularly with lawmakers. And so that's pretty much what inspired me to begin writing this book, because I felt like the information was just so valuable, and there's just not a lot of people like you and myself who know about how laws are made in our state government.
Right.
And so I wanted to start with young people, because there are so many different things that are taking place all around them. And I wanted them to be able to know, how the process actually works. Specifically when, all those school shootings were taking place across the
Right.
country, you'd have young people who would go to the Capitol in Washington, D.C. They'd go to their capital in whatever city that they live in, trying to advocate for some type of law changes to prevent school shootings and prevent bullying and prevent all those type of things. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to provide something that would give them a kind of like a mini roadmap, if you want to say, of
Right.
how laws are actually made in our state, and how to go from, having your ideal and writing it down to actually it becoming a law. And so through my expertise and working with my colleague, who is Dr. Calvin Mercer, he's a professor at East Carolina University,
Nice.
and he's also a former elected official of 10 plus years. And so it was through our experience, our shared experience, that we thought this book would be a great tool for you.
That's awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, the book is called There Ought to Be Law.
There ought to be a law, yes.
Oh,
Can
you
you
ready? You prepared.
Yes, the name of the book is There Ought to Be a Law, because I mean, a lot of the things that are going on, like specifically for school bullying, kids that are getting bullied in school, there are no laws that protect kids from, being bullied at school and stuff like that. And so
Right.
that was one of the main topics that I wanted to make this book more relatable to, for
Right.
youth, who they could, understand in common terms, in their language, on ways in which, they can use the principles in this book to apply in their everyday lives, and who knows, advocate for, legislation that could become law one day. And also, as you see on the cover, of course, free ice cream for kids. Now, of course, I'm an ice cream lover. So I felt like that was something that I wanted to include as well, just to be fun on such a serious topic. I wanted to add something fun to it, but it's so relatable, because, I mean, what kids don't want ice cream?
Right. Right. That's awesome, man. And I think that's very instrumental that you incorporated bullying, because that's such a big issue all
Mm-hmm.
across the country, and
Right.
have laws in place to protect children that's experiencing this traumatic, things that's going on in the education
Mm-hmm.
system, and especially, we in the era where, there's different genders as well too, in the
Right.
system as well. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
very huge. This is a big
Yeah.
year. This is a big election year. How are you feeling and everything that's going on in the country in this election climate right now, political climate?
Well, I mean, it can be stressing, as I'm sure a lot of people are really stressed right now, because it's like if you turn on the television, that's all you hear about is politics, politics, politics.
Right.
And so I'm pretty much feeling like everybody else. I'm ready for November to come. But I'm also, eager to see what the results will be. I
Right.
know that we're, focusing on getting those who are former justice involved individuals registered to vote, for those who are eligible, through my work with the Second Chance Alliance. And so I'm eager to see what's going to happen. We're trying to do our part. We're registering folks, getting the information out there to let people know
That's
if they're eligible to register to vote, and to get them registered to vote. And so I'm looking forward to November. I'm looking forward to this, this election being over and done with. But
right.
I'm really optimistic about, the outcome in November.
Awesome. How do you feel with the coronavirus? There's still clusters going on. A lot of parents having to adjust to homeschooling because parents are having anxiety, and of course they don't want their kids to get sick. So that a lot of people are at home now. Um, what are the challenges, and how do you feel about all the new adjustments and coming up with this upcoming school year?
Well, I feel like there are a lot of challenges. I don't have children. However, I mentor kids and things like that. But I definitely feel some of the stressors that parents and guardians are feeling with adjusting to virtual learning.
Right.
However, I do feel like it gives the parents an opportunity to connect with their youth a little bit more and get more involved into some of the things that they're learning about in school. Because a lot of times as adults, we get so caught up in work, school,
Yes.
and trying to better ourselves and things like that, that oftentimes, sometimes things can get overlooked while we're trying to provide for the kids, keep a roof over their heads and things
Yes.
like that. So I think this is a great time. There are some positives always in a negative situation. So I think this is a great time for parents to, spend a little bit more time with the family, with their youth, just to find out what is going on with them personally and, how they're feeling with things that are going on with school. With the coronavirus going on, there's a lot of uncertainty with our youth because, this is something new for them. And
Right.
so I feel like this is the perfect time to, build up those levels of communication with our youth, and find out, what their goals are and help them work towards those goals, being that, they don't have to get on a school bus and go this place, or
Right.
some kids don't. But a lot of kids are, virtually learning from home, but this is a great time to connect with the youth and find out, what is it that they specifically want, for their education and ways in which we can better help them understand them, from their perspective.
That's very well said. And especially I like how you pointed out that connection, because the outside world will create a disconnection between
Hmm.
parent and child, dealing
Yep.
with the stresses of providing and the bills and the job. So it is myself. I have three sons, and I'm more involved in their curriculum and know what they're learning,
Hmm.
and so it does, and it's challenging as well. But it is a liberate feeling knowing that we have to become more of the teachers now. So,
Yeah.
yes, it's challenging, but it's a positive light. Where can they find
Right.
your book, and where can they get it at, Mrs. Pittman?
Well, they can actually purchase my book. You can go to barnesandnobles.com. I'm actually traveling different places, doing a book tour, to get my book in various Barnes and Nobles across the country. Of course, it's already listed on their website. However, as authors, especially as minority authors, you have to push a little bit harder to, you
Right.
know, find our place and to, hey, we're here, I have this particular book. But what I'm doing, I've been traveling to different bookstores in North Carolina thus far, not too far away from home because COVID is going on.
Right.
But I've been trying to make the best out of a kind of a bad situation. You can go to target.com as well and find my book in hardcover. But most importantly, you can visit www.brightbooks.org. To find my book, There Ought to Be a Law, a Bright Day at the State Capitol. You can learn a little bit more about my co-author, Dr. Calvin Mercer, as well on the website. And so, yeah, you'll learn a little bit more about me and how we can actually connect. My partner and I, as well as with the Martin Pitt Partnership, we're actually putting on a pandemic town hall for you. So
Oh,
I encourage you to follow me on social media at Bright Books Club on Facebook and Instagram, as well as my website at brightbooks.org.
that's amazing. Amazing. Hill TV salutes your efforts. I respect the hustle because I'm always out here moving, and I like to see our people out here moving, especially in a positive light, and especially dealing with education. And now you got
Yeah.
the education, and you bring in the law, because a lot of us
Yeah.
don't know our rights. We don't know our law,
Right.
and
Exactly.
there needs to be law incorporated early on in the elementary. So you're
Yes.
bringing that to the
Yep.
forefront. So I salute you and your colleague, Mr. Dr. Calvin Mercer. And it's an amazing feeling. I'm about to go to Barnes and Noble and buy my copy right now. And we salute you, Queen. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. And do you have any other future books coming out?
Well, yeah, I actually have the activity book that goes along with the book. There ought to be a law bright day at the state capitol. It's also available in Spanish.
Oh
And so
wow,
I'm working on another project, but I think it's going to be geared more towards adults, something that they can relate to.
nice.
And so yeah, you just have to follow brightbooks.org to stay up to date about what we're doing, as well as following me on social media.
All right, people, you heard it. You got to go to
.org.
brightbooksclub.org to stay updated on all this greatness she's doing out here. Okay, so it was a pleasure, Queen. Thank you so much for taking time out to be a guest on my show, and you have a blessed day. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, Javon, for having me. I'm looking for greater things coming from your way as well.
Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, peace.
Peace. Health, inspiration, love, life.